Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and these are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. Vice President embarks on 5-day two-nation tour of Morocco and Tunisia, visit aimed at strengthening strategic ties. African students protest against the growing number of racial attacks against them. The government assures them of safety and punishment for those responsible. Nominations for the biennial elections to the Rajya Sabha exposes the fault lines within the Congress, but the party maintains all is well. The government moves NGT, asking it not to extend the ban on diesel vehicles to 11 other cities, says ban will impact local industries and employment. And faced with the threat of another Jat agitation, central forces deployed in 7 districts in Haryana, Section 144 also imposed in some areas. Our top story this evening, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari has left on a 5-day tour to Morocco and Tunisia to improve economic ties with the two African countries. Both countries are keen to build a strategic relationship with India. The Vice President is travelling with a parliamentary delegation.
Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari begins his 2-day visit to Morocco at the invitation of Prime Minister Abdelaziz Ben Karine. During the course of his visit, the Vice President will hold discussions with King Mohammed VI and also the Prime Minister. The Vice President and the Moroccan Prime Minister will also jointly launch the India-Morocco Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Rabat. Members of the Indian diaspora will then interact with the Vice President during the event.
Among the issues that we'll be discussing besides regional issues and how to strengthen our outreach to Africa generally, also Morocco wants to posits itself as a gateway to the Francophone Africa. So that is one of the key issues why Vice President decided to go there.
During the second leg of his visit, Vice President Ansari will reach Tunis on the 2nd of June at the invitation of Tunisian Prime Minister Habib Essid. He will hold discussions with Tunisian President and Prime Minister Essid on a wide range of issues of shared common interest. The Vice President will also deliver a keynote address to Tunisian diplomatic corporations, leading scholars and think tanks at the Tunisian Institute for Strategic Studies.
Tunisia is also looking at India's expertise in gas and oil field sector. We have formed a joint venture in 2007. Hopefully, and they have been sort of pressing us to get the Minister for Petroleum and Gas there, and we should perhaps do a follow-up sometime.
The visit comes after the successful high-level India-Africa summit in Delhi last year. During his visit to both countries, the Vice President will be accompanied by Union Minister of State for Chemicals and Fertilizers, Hansraj Gangaram Ahir, and also 4 members of Parliament. With Vishal Jain and Anu Diwan, Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
At a time when Vice President Ansari is seeking to strengthen Indo-African ties, the government is firefighting the sudden rise of the number of racist attacks on African nationals back home. At least 6 Africans were attacked with cricket bats and sticks in the national capital, just a week after a Congolese national was beaten to death. African diplomats have expressed shock at the incidents and urged the government to ensure safety of their people. President Pranab Mukherjee has also expressed concern over such racist attacks.
Dozens of African students residing in New Delhi staged a protest at Jantar Mantar on Monday against the increasing racist attacks on them. The protesting students demanded swift action from the government in stopping such incidents.
Let the federal government of India do what they're supposed to do, because we have more than 5 lakhs Indians living in Africa and they are living in peace. We are not disturbing them. I don't think if the Indian government should allow your people to disturb us, whether it is pure, I don't think it's wise enough.
Meanwhile, family and relatives of Congolese national Masonda Oliver arrived in New Delhi to take back his mortal remains. Oliver was killed in a brawl in South Delhi's Mehrauli area on the 20th of May. His family now hopes to get justice for Oliver.
We will see when the trial will start what government India government has promised. So if they accomplish it, it will be happy. It will be happy for the family and everyone. We expect something better can come coming days to try to India government to try to improve things for our safety here.
The government on its part has assured speedy trial in the case. Officials from the Ministry of External Affairs met Oliver's family, assuring them that those responsible would be punished severely. The government has also offered to bear all expenses related to the dispatch of Oliver's mortal remains. Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar also met students of the African community, assuring them that their safety is an article of faith for the Indian government.
हम लोग इसको बहुत सीरियसली ले रहे हैं और जो भी कदम उठाना चाहिए उसको रोकने के लिए अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम भी कर रहे हैं। पुलिस वाले मोहल्ले में जाकर के उन लोग से भी बातचीत कर रहे हैं लोगों से और साथ साथ जो अगर घटना हुआ है तो उसको कार्रवाई भी कर रहे हैं।
Amidst all this, an African national allegedly thrashed a cab driver in the national capital. The driver claims he was beaten up for refusing to carry extra passengers in his vehicle.
वहाँ मैंने कही मेरी गाड़ी में 4 सवारी अलाउड है, 6 सवारी मेरी गाड़ी में अलाउड नहीं है, भैया मैं नहीं ले जा सकता आपको। वो मेरे साथ जबरदस्ती करने लगे जी, मैं गाड़ी से नीचे उतर गया, धक्का मारा और मेरे पीछे से उसने आकर वो बेंच मारा आँख पे।
A case has been registered following Nuruddin's complaint. The police will soon be questioning the African nationals involved in the case. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the nominations for the Rajya Sabha seats have brought several fault lines within the Congress party to the fore, with some state leaders expressing their unhappiness over the official candidates. While party nominee from Uttarakhand, Pradeep Tamta, is facing opposition from ally PDF, the central leadership has reiterated that all is well.
Ever since the Congress party announced its candidates for 8 Rajya Sabha seats last Saturday, voices of dissent are gaining ground, not only within the party but also among its allies. Most vocal among the protesters has been the PDF in Uttarakhand, whose 6 MLAs are crucial for the survival of the Congress government in the state. The party is unhappy over the Congress nominee from the state, Pradeep Tamta.
They are not strictly with the Congress. A certain view is there, but they are allies, they are valuable allies, they are partners, and you can rest assured that all such individual subjective views will be sorted out and are already being sorted out.
The nomination of former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram from Maharashtra has also ruffled feathers in the state unit, with senior leaders like Sushil Kumar Shinde and educationist Bhal Chandra Mungekar also considered to be in the race for the lone Rajya Sabha seat from the state. Congress's outgoing Rajya Sabha MP Vijay Darda's meeting with Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari has also raised eyebrows. However, Congress sought to downplay the events.
The day I start responding to murmurs, it will be an endless press conference.
Meanwhile, other Congress nominees, including Kapil Sibal from Uttar Pradesh and Ambika Soni from Punjab, filed their nomination on Monday for the biennial polls to the upper house. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And several political leaders today filed their nominations for the biennial elections to the Rajya Sabha. BJP nominated Union Ministers M. Venkaiah Naidu and Suresh Prabhu, along with BJP leader M.J. Akbar and Vinay Sahasrabudhe. From the ruling Grand Alliance in Bihar, JDU leader Sharad Yadav, from BJP MP Ram Jethmalani and RJD chief Lalu Prasad's daughter Meesa Bharti filed their nominations. Elections are being held to fill 5 Rajya Sabha and 7 Legislative Council seats. The last date for filing nominations is tomorrow, and elections for the 57 seats will be held on the 11th of June. The government on Monday moved the National Green Tribunal, asking it not to extend its ban on diesel vehicles to 11 other cities. The move followed soon after the Heavy Industries Ministry moved the tribunal, asking it not to extend the diesel vehicle ban to other cities. The ministry says a ban will not only impact local industries but also affect the employment of a large number of people. Most of these 11 cities are state capitals, including Lucknow, Patna, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata and Mumbai. May 31st is the deadline for these cities to provide the data on vehicular pollution to the NGT. The tribunal warned on Monday that if a state fails to produce the data, bailable warrant against the Chief Secretary of that state would be issued. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has called the ban on registration of diesel vehicles in NCR a transient phase. The ban on sale of large diesel cars and SUVs with engines of 2 litres or more was first imposed in December and was recently extended to Kerala, where it has been stayed by the State High Court. The ban has been termed the worst advertisement of India by the world's largest automaker, Toyota. Now, days after the drubbing in the West Bengal Assembly elections, the CPIM Politburo has admitted that the electoral strategy in the state went against the political line of the party. Speaking to reporters at the end of the party's two-day Politburo meet, General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri said the decision to get into an alliance with the Congress in West Bengal was not in consonance with the party's Central Committee decision. The Central Committee had advised against such an alliance then. The Politburo now believes that due to its sudden shift in tactical line, it performed miserably in the polls, being relegated to third position in the state, which it ruled for 34 years. The Congress, however, feels that the CPIM should be graceful in accepting defeat.
Electoral tactics that evolved in West Bengal are not in consonance with the Central Committee decision and the political tactical line of the party, which said that there would be no electoral alliance or understanding with the Congress party.
Today, to make comments, I can make so many comments, our party can make so many comments. What's the point of it? The fact of the matter is that there was a conscious arrangement. There was no coalition, but there was an arrangement. I think we should be as graceful in victory, semi-victory or defeat.
Now, sensing a backlash from the Jat community after the Punjab and Haryana High Court stayed the reservation granted to them and 5 other communities, central forces have been deployed across Haryana. Jat leaders have threatened to renew their agitation for reservation from the 5th of June. Central forces have been deployed in 7 sensitive districts in the state, including Jind, Kaithal, Bhiwani, Hisar, Sonipat, Jhajjar and Rohtak. These districts had witnessed widespread violence during the stir in February this year. Paramilitary forces are also guarding the crucial Munak Canal, which supplies water to a large part of Delhi. The agitating community had disrupted supply last time, leaving the national capital parched. Forces have also been deployed along the Yamuna River in Sonipat, where the district administration has imposed Section 144. The state government has also slapped sedition charges against 4 prominent Jat leaders, including Yashpal Malik, who is the national president of the Akhil Bharatiya Jat Arakshan Sangharsh Samiti.
लगभग 3 महीने पहले जिस प्रकार का घटनाक्रम हुआ, उस घटनाक्रम को ध्यान में रखते हुए आखिर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति को बनाए रखने के लिए हमारी प्रशासनिक व्यवस्थाएं सब हमने मौजूद रखी हैं और मैं मानकर चलता हूं कि इस प्रकार की कोई बात इस बार नहीं होगी और शांतिपूर्वक जो भी 5 तारीख के धरनों की जो बात कही गई है, हमारी बातचीत भी उन लोगों से चली है और उन्हें आश्वासन दिलाया है कि हम शांतिपूर्वक धरने करेंगे।
किसी को भी कानून अपने हाथ में नहीं लेने दिया जाएगा। इसके लिए हमने अपनी पूरी की पूरी कंपनी जितनी भी पुलिस फोर्स है उसको कंपनी फॉर्मेशन करवा के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की ड्रिल्स चल रही हैं हमारी। कोई भी किसी भी तरीके का उल्लंघन करेगा तो उसके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी। प्रशासन और पुलिस इस बार बिल्कुल कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई करेगा, जिसके अधीन खास करके जो नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट है, राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा अधिनियम, उसके तहत कार्रवाई की जाएगी। अगर कोई भी राइटिंग, कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइज़र जो धरना ऑर्गेनाइज करता है या कोई प्रोवोकेटिव स्पीच देता है तो उसके ऑर्गेनाइजर्स और जितने भी उसके पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
The Congress leader V. Narayansamy today called on the Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, Kiran Bedi, formally staking claim to form the government. Narayansamy submitted a letter to Bedi regarding his unanimous election as Congress Legislative Party leader. He also presented to the LG a letter of support from alliance partner DMK, which won 2 seats in the 30-member assembly. Narayansamy was elected leader of the 15-member Congress Legislative Party on Saturday. He will now be invited by the LG to form a government in Puducherry. Narayansamy, however, will have to get elected to the assembly within 6 months as he did not contest the polls this time. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology will soon move a cabinet note on India Post's payment bank proposal and is likely to seek the approval of the Union Cabinet next month. Telecom Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said on Monday that the bank will begin functioning from March 2017.
Your friendly neighborhood post office will soon begin to offer banking services. Telecom Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said on Monday that the government is mulling a different ownership structure to professionally run the payment banks of the Department of Posts. The government will invest 400 crore rupees to start the banking services of post offices.
ये पोस्ट बैंक जो हमारा है मार्च से हम शुरू करने जा रहे हैं, हम कैबिनेट में शॉर्टली जाने वाले हैं, इन प्रिंसिपल अप्रूवल हो गया है। हमारा जो वास्ट नेटवर्क है पोस्टल का, अभी हमें खाली इन प्रिंसिपल अप्रूवल हुआ है। देश और दुनिया की 50 consortiums are keen to partner with Postal Department.
There are over 150,000 post offices in the country, out of which more than 25,000 are departmental post offices and close to 1.3 lakh are branch post offices. The Reserve Bank of India granted in-principle approval to the Department of Posts for setting up payment banks in September 2015, with a stipulation to complete all formalities for setting up the bank within 18 months. About 50 companies, including global giants like Deutsche Bank, Citibank and Barclays, have shown interest to partner with the Postal Department for these banks. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, though the pre-monsoon showers have brought down temperatures in some parts of North India, the rains also left behind a trail of death and destruction. In Delhi, as many as 27 flights were either diverted or rescheduled due to a dust storm and heavy rains.
Delhiites woke up to a rainy morning on Monday, with the national capital region witnessing sporadic rainfall and thundershowers. But the joy was short-lived as several areas in the city witnessed waterlogging. The storm on Sunday evening also uprooted trees at many places, blocking key roads and causing massive traffic snarls. Owing to bad weather conditions, around 27 flights had to be diverted. According to Met forecast, the temperature is likely to drop further on Tuesday due to the western disturbances.
मौसम खराब हो गया तो कई फ्लाइटें डाइवर्ट हुई होंगी, तो जैसे आगे वाली फ्लाइट डाइवर्ट हुई तो पीछे वाली भी डाइवर्ट हो जाती, मतलब टाइम उसका शेड्यूल हो जाता।
फ्लाइट डिले हो गई इनकी और कोई हमें बैकअप इसका नहीं दिया, कोई बताए। टोरंटो कनाडा से मौसम खराब की वजह से फ्लाइट डिले इन्होंने डाइवर्ट कर दी।
At least 12 people were also reported killed across Uttar Pradesh due to storms, lightning and heavy rains. The Met Department predicts heavy showers to continue in some parts of the state over the next 2 days. 6 people were also killed in a cloudburst in Uttarakhand on Sunday. Heavy rainfall is also expected to hit the hill districts of Champawat, Almora, Nainital, Tehri and Pauri in Uttarakhand in the next 24 hours. Thunderstorms accompanied by squall is likely in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. The Met Office also forecasts heavy rain at isolated places in Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya and South Interior Karnataka. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Some more national news updates now nationwide. The Jammu and Kashmir Assembly saw another day of disruptions as the opposition National Conference leaders staged a walkout again today. The walkout happened as the budget speech was being presented. The National Conference was protesting the Handwara killings. Independent MLA Sheikh Abdul Rashid was also marshalled out after he demanded an explanation from the government on the killings. India's largest car maker, Maruti Suzuki India, today announced temporary suspension of production at its Manesar and Gurgaon plants after a fire at the factory of its component supplier, Subros Limited. It took firefighters more than 3 hours to douse the heavy fire on Sunday. The extent of the damage to essential equipment is being assessed. The Kerala High Court today refused to hand over the Perambavoor rape and murder case to the CBI. The incident has been termed as Kerala's Nirbhaya case due to the chilling similarities it has to the 2012 Delhi case. The victim's family has alleged several lapses in the investigation carried out by the state police. Some international news now, and the Iraqi army has launched its assault against the Islamic State in the latter stronghold Fallujah. The assault was launched in the early hours of Monday, with troops entering the city from 3 directions. The assault came even as the militant group carried out counterattacks in the capital, Baghdad.
The Iraqi army has begun an operation to storm Fallujah, the Islamic State group's stronghold near Baghdad. As the military unit tries to advance in the city, explosions and gunfire can be heard in Fallujah's southern Naimia district. The army is taking it slow, not launching a full attack on the city in order to give civilians time to flee. Backed by Shiite militias on the ground and airstrikes from the US-led coalition, the army is hoping to soon completely encircle the city.
هذا أحد المعوقات إلى عملية الفلوجة، ولدينا قلق كبير وشديد على أرواح المدنيين في مدينة الفلوجة، ولذلك نحن وجهنا إنذار لأهالينا في مدينة الفلوجة بضرورة ترك المدينة حرصا منا على سلامتهم، وسنبذل كل الجهد إن شاء الله من أجل سلامة المدنيين.
The Iraqi army first began the operation to recapture Fallujah on May 23rd. Troops first tightened their siege around the city before beginning the direct assault on Monday. Fallujah was the first Iraqi city to fall under the control of the Islamic State militants in January 2014.
أنا هذا اليوم اللي أأكد للأخوان العمليات تسير نحو وفق الخطة المرسومة بمعنويات عالية بهمم عالية، وبكل صراحة العملية تقدمت بخطوات فاقت توقعاتنا.
Meanwhile, Islamic State militants unleashed a wave of bombings targeting commercial areas in and around Baghdad, killing at least 20 people. Such attacks by the militants are being seen as an attempt by them to distract the security forces' attention away from the front lines. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more international news now in Global Buzz. The Israeli police recommended charges against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's wife, Sarah, on alleged suspicion of misuse of state power. However, Israel's First Lady has denied any wrongdoing. Significant political fallout is expected for the Prime Minister if the state prosecutors accept the recommendation. The investigation was prompted by a government auditor's findings and by information provided by a former chief custodian at the official residence. Syria's chief peace negotiator Mohammad Aloush said he would be resigning over the failure of the UN-backed Geneva peace talks to bring a political settlement in Syria. Aloush said that the peace talks had also failed to secure the release of thousands of detainees or to push Syria towards a political transition without President Bashar al-Assad. The UN-backed parties have not yet set a date for the resumption of peace talks. A blast shook the Gulshan-e-Hadid area in Karachi, Pakistan, leaving 2 persons, including a Chinese national, injured. The police explained that the blast occurred due to a CNG explosion in a vehicle. SSP Rao Anwar was quoted saying that a pamphlet in Sindhi was also recovered from the spot. Later, police cordoned off the area and collected evidence for investigation. China today launched its Ziyuan 302 satellite from Taiyuan Satellite Launch Center in northern China. The new satellite was launched to the Changzheng 4B carrier rocket and is the second high-resolution geological mapping satellite to be used for civil purposes. The Ziyuan 302 satellite is a survey satellite with a higher definition. It can not only take images from 500 kilometers in outer space, but can also measure the height of objects. Time for all the sports action now in Sportsbeat. Asian Games discus throw gold medal winner Seema Punia has qualified for the Rio Olympics with a 62.62 meters effort at Pat Young's Pros Classic at Salinas in California. Punia crossed the Rio Games qualification standard of 61 metres with her season's best effort. She is the 19th Indian track and field athlete to have qualified for the Rio Olympics. Indian goalkeeper Gurpreet Singh Sandhu created history on Sunday by becoming the first football player from the country to appear in a top division European League match. Sandhu played for his Norwegian Tippeligaen club Stabæk FC on Sunday. Stabæk thrashed their opponents 5-0 as 24-year-old Sandhu celebrated the occasion by keeping a clean sheet. Indian golfer Anirban Lahiri produced a superb front nine en route to a steady final run to finish tied 6th at the Dean and DeLuca golf tournament in Colonial in Fort Worth. The win also helped Lahiri register his first top 10 position in the ongoing season on the PGA Tour. He also moved to 88th spot on the FedEx Cup table. International football player Alan Pulido, who was abducted in northeastern Mexico, has been rescued. Pulido was seized near Ciudad Victoria in Tamaulipas state after leaving a party on Saturday night. The striker plays for the Greek team Olympiacos and has made several appearances for Mexico's national team. World number 2 Andy Murray and defending champion Stan Wawrinka have advanced to the quarterfinals of the French Open. Murray made the last 8 for the 6th time with a 7-6, 6-4, 6-3 win over John Isner of the United States. While third seed Wawrinka saw off Serbia's Viktor Trojki 7-6, 6-7, 6-3, 6-2 for his 11th straight win in this year's second Grand Slam. Well, that's news tonight. Good night.